Hi Sagittarius, here's a general look at your solar chart for March 2013, and it's going to be very much about what's going on in your personal life, in your support systems, and on a base of operations, in and around a base of operations, or about property. So until the 20th, the focus is going to be in these areas, also in the neighborhood or a community, and that can be a small community like your family or just a few members of the family, or like extended family or kind of tribal connections. As I say, property could be a feature or place on the map, you being Sagittarians, the nomads of the zodiac. So it could be about a particular space or place which is away from your regular home, but it will still be very much revolving around that space or place, whether it is your regular space or place or it's not your regular space, it's outer space. And in some respects your gaze will tend to be turned inwards, so you'll be feeling things a little bit more than you do normally. Somebody can push your buttons more easily, but also you'll be pondering things. You might be harking back to the past, you might be feeling a bit nostalgic. And some of you, very much there could be a blast from the past, very much the past being felt in the present, in whatever way. But also this is a good transit with Venus in there at the same time as the Sun. It's a good transit to connect with the earth, to connect with your roots, to connect with your foundations, and feel the good that brings you. As I say, Venus is in this area too. It will come out of there on the 22nd, so it's more or less the same as the Sun. And Venus just kind of beams this warm, friendly light into the roots of your chart, which will reflect onto family members or with your relationships in a neighborhood. And it can manifest in other ways as well, to do with property, maybe you doing well out of some sort of property deal, or a deal which is connected to a property or a space. And definitely a time when you can get more access to a place that you prefer, or just the beauties of nature. Get out in nature and really be appreciating nature and feeling in the mood to decorate a space or dig a garden or just embellish wherever you are. And it could be very much more the visitor to other people's places at this time, because there's a real socializing, meeting and greeting vibration at the roots of your chart, and also you being the host to those who are visiting you, and having more access to entertainments in and around your vicinity, but feeling more balanced within, feeling steadier and more stable within, and also bringing more balance into your relationships, into the personal relationships or the family relationships. The Sun moves on the 20th and goes into an area which sometimes I call it the House of Fun, but really it's an area which allows you to do things which make you feel empowered, which makes you feel good to be in places or with people who help you to feel empowered. There's something about your contribution or what you're able to bring to that environment or that person that sort of puts you center stage a little bit, and maybe you get some admiring glances coming your way. Venus is going to remain in that very foundation area of your chart. It's been there for quite a long time already and will be there until mid-April, and so still your mind will be focused maybe on things to do with the roots, your roots, or property. So it could be heritage, it could be going back into the past, it could be to do with parents, it could be to do with ancestors. There could be more contact there, or you just more paperwork, or correspondence, or looking things up on the net or whatever it is. And you connecting more with where you've come from. So whatever that means to you, and you could just be mulling those sorts of things over, and they could be more on your mind than usual. And that's up until mid-April. And then Venus also moves out of that area there on the 22nd and goes into this, what I call the house of fun, but it can be, you know, about lots of other things, like more connection with young people. It's got a very young, bubbly energy, really. So others can, you and others can be socializing and be enjoying a kind of more playful vibe, or maybe you're more connected into something to do with the leisure industry or entertainment industry. That's another way it can work. You can make quite a good impression on others if you work the Venus energy to your advantage. For example, if you're promoting something for business, or if it's just you, you know, you can feel quite appreciated. And so get a hold of that one and make the most of that one. And you could be sharing admiring glances with somebody else, because this is also the house of romance. So anything, you're more likely to get access or get a chance to enjoy anything which helps you to feel more appreciated, more personally empowered during this time. Mars is also at the root of your chart. It's been there throughout the whole of February and will come out of there on the 12th of March. So between the beginning of the month and the 12th of March, Mars continues to sort of stir up that area there. It can mean there's a bit of tension around you for some reason from time to time. Maybe to do with family members, maybe to do with members of a neighborhood, maybe because of a property or a space. So physical effort can be needed, and also you can get a bit tired out, maybe, or don't get tired out. Avoid getting tired out. Avoid overstretching your energies because of any of these things. And you could be more active within a community. It could be more demands on your stamina, your time, because of a community. And that can be a community over the wires as well. It doesn't have to be physically where you're located, but so both ways. And you can just be a little bit touchier, or feel that people around you are a little bit touchier. But Venus is going to be in there, so that's going to soften everything. And if there are skeletons rattling in the closet, then Venus can help settle a feud, or Venus can help you come to terms, or somebody around you maybe come to terms with something. Then Venus remains in there, but Mars moves out of there and moves into this other area, which is very spontaneous, connected more with children, leisure pursuits, romance for some of you as well. It depends on, you know, where you're at in your life, but it is definitely, with Mars there, making you feel more like taking a risk, taking a gamble, giving it a shot. It's a more competitive area. So there's going to be occasions when you feel more valued and at the center of attention, but also you feel more confident about giving it your best shot, or giving it a go, whatever it's about, and whatever is going on, you'll tend to have the chance to enjoy special moments, I think, in relationships, whether that's through more time spent with young ones or animals, or doing the kind of pursuits that you just make you feel good, help you to feel good. So overall, this is a time in your life to get active with what makes you feel good. And it could even be what you know is good for you, because this can also be a self-indulgent area where we get into, you know, we get our hands in the cookie jar too much, or you know, the candy jar. So too many sweets, and that's metaphorically speaking. So this is an area burning the candle at both ends, or self-indulgence. So it's up to you. to decide how you're going to play the Mars card in that area there. But definitely it's a time for you to get active with any kind of activity or a project which you really enjoy. You know it makes you feel good, even though you might think is a lot of trouble to get it all started or arranged. You know it makes you feel good, and you know it makes sense to do things which help you to feel good, and they don't have a come down afterwards. Now, there is one aspect happening with Mars on 23rd, 24th, which has the feeling of being ambushed or being having a very excitable, jittery, unexpected energy around. So something might be happening there which you weren't expecting, or you might be feeling impatient about something, or somebody else is showing their impatience, or so just watch your step anyway during those days there. It's the same for all the signs, it's not just you. You know, don't be hasty. And then at the very end of the month, 29th, 30th, 31st, there's another set of influences which can be quite intense, make you feel things quite intensely, maybe, and can be quite deep or passionate as well. So it will be a shift in position in some way or other, and maybe some kind of a breakthrough as well. But it depends what it's about. So that is, in a very sort of general way, I'm giving out that alert, as it were, but it's not really an alert. It's not like sirens are blasting or anything. They're very fleeting, but they're worth a mention, these two aspects. Now, each month I speak about the slower moving outer planets and which part of the sign, your sign, they're going to affect this month. So I'll do that here as quickly as I can. Jupiter, your ruling planet, is definitely opening the way to growth through close personal professional relationships for about 12 months, and it's about halfway through that now. Will come out of there in June. So because of your association, your associations, your horizons are going to broaden. So there's going to be more travel, there's going to be connecting with somebody to do with language, maybe foreign culture, and you'll be learning a lot through what those people can teach you, or those places or those experiences, because you know those people, but also they will see that they're learning through what you're giving them. And partners or colleagues or clients or whoever they are will get you thinking more expansively and probably appreciating what you can learn through them, but also they're appreciating what they can learn through you. You Sagittarians born 26th of November to the 1st of December, or with 7 to 13 degrees rising, going to feel this energy the most this month. And in some ways the position of Saturn it's in the area before your sign. It's in Scorpio. So in some ways this position of Saturn is you drawing a line under the accounts to do with a whole long cycle in the past. It's about 30-year cycle, just under 30 years. So you kind of winding things up and tying up loose ends in preparation for the time when it enters your sign in about a couple of years from now. So you may be doing more inner work or beavering away behind the scenes on things. You may be just, setting things in order, like having a massive taking stock or review of things. And you may also be working a lot harder on some sort of project behind the scenes, or something which will serve the common good in some way behind the scenes. And you Sagittarians born between the 29th of November and the 5th of December, or with 9 to 13 degrees rising, going to feel this energy mostly this month. Uranus puts the emphasis. Uranus is in a fantastic angle to your sun sign at the moment, Sagittarius. So putting the emphasis on entertainments, creative projects, speculative ventures, investments, taking a gamble on something. Uranus is a very volatile energy. It loves the group dynamic. It has you connecting in an innovative, maybe an innovative way, maybe with a group of people. Maybe it's over the wires, maybe it's online. But definitely new and unusual encounters could be coming along and teaching you things you didn't know before, which are grist to your creative mill. And there could be more unusual hobbies on offer, or you get into something which is inventive or offbeat, or just helps you to shine in your own unique kind of way. And you Sagittarians born between the 28th of November to the 2nd of December, all with 6 to 10 degrees rising, going to feel this energy the most this month. Neptune is at the root of your chart and will be there until 2025. And that means you seek maybe a more idealized or serene or sanctuary-like home environment. Don't we all? But the flip side, don't we all sometimes? Actually, in my case, a lot of the times. But the flip side is a feeling of uncertainty at the roots of your life. Emotionally, maybe an emotional uncertainty, a confusion about, it could be your place on the map, it could be to do with a country, it could be to do with a property. So there could be this confusion and uncertainty about where you're headed on these very fundamental levels of your life, and who you really belong with, where your affinities really lie. So you Sagittarians born between the 24th and 26th of November, or with 2 to 5 degrees rising, would feel this energy the most. It might not be like that. It might be that that if it's to do with a family member or people that you consider as part of your family, you don't quite know how they are or what they're up to, or where they're going from here, sort of thing, and you're a bit concerned because they're confused. And then lastly, Pluto in the sign after yours, Capricorn, for many years, means that you are regenerating root and branch in your financial area or to do with property. And over that long transit, there'll be a letting go of old scenarios connected to property, but also to finances as well. A complete sort of letting go and almost like a closing of the door to the old way, and then clearing the decks, because with Pluto here, an old order has got to crumble, has got to come down for that clearing to happen, and you going down the dump, or you metaphorically going down the dump with all the old stuff and the old approaches or the old commitments, and this new dawn in this area connected to finances and property, but also it's an area connected to your talents. It's what you have as in the way of gifts in this life. So this is closing the door on an old way of using those, or an old way of just ignoring them and not really capitalizing on them, and then starting to then this rebirthing happening. And there'll be a lot more feeling that you want control as well over this area. So control over the money, control over the property, control over the way you are using your natural inclinations in this life, and maybe capitalizing on them, and so that they become quite lucrative for you. But maybe at the moment you don't even know that's going to turn out that way. But if you just follow your gut instinct with what you know you like to do, and the areas you like to do, be in, with your interests in life, or whatever you want to call them, not the day job but the hobbies, or maybe it is the day job, then on the gut level just keep going in that direction, because that's the way Pluto works. And that's the gift of Pluto, helping sort of lighting the path before you with that gut, that sort of feeling of, okay, I don't know why I'm going this way, but I just got to keep going this way until it sort of explains itself to me. And you Sagittarians born between the 1st and 4th of December, or with 9 degrees to 12 degrees rising, going to feel this energy mostly this month. And that's it for March. If you know your rising sign or your moon sign, then find the forecast for those, and it'll add to or subtract from what I've said here. Also, if you've emailed me, I apologize if you've been waiting a long time to get a response from me. I've had a lot on my plate, and doing it on my own. So I am working my way through those. You will get a reply soon. Sooner than later. And thank you very much for your patience and also your interest. And I will see you the next time.